Good morning, my fellow chickens. Welcome to the house of Chicken Church. It is your boy Trey's Trades coming back again for another freaking video. And today, I'm gonna knock out two videos. I got one this morning. I want to talk about some stuff that's going on with Fidelity, the broker, and man, I'll tell you what, there are two situations here that are potentially at hand. So we're gonna dive right into this sucker and keep this nice and short for you. This is actually where I found this. There is an account on Twitter called Fuck Market Watch DRSGME, and the profile picture for this fellow guy is a literal butthole. So right off the bat, we've got a phenomenal story. Market Watch actually referenced this guy whose name in the article is Fuck Market Watch, Red Dirt Kurt, with a picture of a butthole as his PP, which is quite the fascinating thing. But nonetheless, the story is what's interesting to me. So check this out. Someone asked on Fidelity subreddit why 11 million additional loanable GameStop shares appeared overnight. 20% of the float available to short appearing overnight. Below is their response. And Fidelity went out of their way to respond to the situation, which is outlined here in the actual article itself. Now, what's interesting about this is to give you a little bit of a backstory. GameStop showed a couple different short report exchanges, such as Ortex didn't have this data, but Ortex is an example of what this would look like. It showed a short interest of over 100% out of nowhere popped up one given day. And before that, the actual short interest data was significantly lower. It was 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever the actual value was. It was something that was just astronomical that made absolutely no sense. For reference point, I'm going to show you what GameStop short interest is right now, just so you can compare to what this actually looks like, because it's so goofy. 11%, right? That means it would have went from 11% to over 100% in a single night. So right off the bat, either A, that's a red flag, or B, that's a red flag, right? To start looking into whatever the hell's happening and ask some questions. And Fidelity addressed this situation here, right? They actually went out of their way to make a comment on what had happened. And they have this right here. Today, November 30th, our trade ticket reflected an incorrect number of GameStop shares available to short. Read a post on Fidelity's own subreddit posted just after 3:30 p.m. Eastern. After researching the volume with our lending services team, we were able to identify that the root cause was an incorrect entry of the number of shares available to short by one of our external counterparties. The issue was fixed by 12:10 p.m. Eastern today. The GameStop shares available to short is now correct on the trade ticket. This is a mistake worth billions of freaking dollars. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I think about it like this, right? When I went to college, if I just all of a sudden, I don't know, maybe I was putting together some spreadsheets on data, right? Maybe I was researching how many people in a cafeteria decide that they like to eat salad, right? And my actual value was 5%, but instead of 5, I added 2 zeros. I said 500%. This is my final thesis or something. I got my degree in nutrition in college, right? And I decided, it's 500%. And I pitched this to my professor. Do you think my professor is really going to think to themselves, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, you just get rid of the 2 zeros. No! They're going to say this is your fucking final thesis. Get your shit together, Bob, and make it a good report, That is absolutely unacceptable. So there's 2 things that I think are potential here, right? 1, this really truly is what happened. Perhaps there was actually a third party who had just misentered the correct entry. They didn't enter in the correct number of shares available to short. They didn't enter, it could have been a mistake, right? Or 2, they're lying. And if they're lying, that's a problem, right? Both of these are problematic situations, and I'm gonna tell you why. If they simply misentered the data, that means that this is manually entered data, which leaves room for what? Human error. We know human beings, right? As people, even good people run into problems, whether it's malicious or it's just human error. And if you're leaving this decision of data, which can represent the deeds and the behavior of big institutions and big funds and what's actually happening in the grand scheme of things, that's pretty fucked. You're leaving a lot of decision making to people who could potentially lead you down the wrong path. The second thing is, if they're lying, Fidelity's lying, that's just as bad, obviously, right? So either A, there's a problem with the system in which you are actually able to manually enter data and these kind of discrepancies can take place in the first place, or B, they're lying. And each one is not good, right? 2021, my friends, if I was to describe this investing in any sort of way, it is the year of finding out that people have shit brokers. Every single broker out there has its own problem. I mean, freaking piss. Fidelity is one of the very few that actually has direct routing to lit exchanges, right? That's a phenomenal thing. That's better than payment for order flow, right? Lit exchange is referencing to this is actually going directly to an exchange that is not off exchange, over the counter, right? This is where they can kind of have some lack of price discovery. And even still, you run into things like this where it really makes you raise an eyebrow. These guys should not get off easy for this. They should not. That's problematic. This is sus. That is some sus shit. That's what I've got for this video. Catch you on the next one. Much love, light taps. Peace.